Welcome to part 2 of my flower time-lapse workflow video. If you haven't seen part 1 where I went over the camera setup, I'll link it in the description below. In this video, I'll use LR Timelapse, Adobe Lightroom and DaVinci Resolve to compile the images into a time-lapse video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I already have all the images imported from my camera and you can see them here in LR Timelapse. I've divided them into 4 folders where I changed the camera position, and today I'll be working on this folder containing just over 1,000 images. First step is to make sure I've got no stray images at the front or the back where the camera may have wobbled, and once I've ascertained that, we'll go ahead and keyframe it and process it. Just using the slider here, drag the front, that all looks good. At the end here, also looks good. So I'll just go ahead and add some keyframes up here. I'll just use 2 keyframes, that should be plenty. Save it. Now I'll use this button to drag it into Lightroom. All the images are there. Make sure you have the add button selected and just click import. While it's importing the images, I can already filter for keyframes. Then hit the develop button. Okay, now that the images are loaded in and the previews are built, I can go ahead and do the edits. I'm going to keep it pretty basic, mostly just focusing on exposure, trying to get rid of some of this noise here and put a sharpness, nothing too drastic. Just want to make sure I get that background as dark as possible. Okay, that's looking okay for now. I'll just click the next one, use the scripts to sync the keyframes. That's all I'm going to do with them for now. Control AS to save them. And I'll reload them in LR Timelapse. You can see the exposure adjustment here that I made. Apply the transition. And deflicker. You can see this is the exposure values here, how it flickers up and down a little bit. Just want to take the edge off that a little bit. Now it's done, I'll save the files. Metadata save is complete. I'll reopen Lightroom, remove this filter, so I'll go back to full sequence. Control A, metadata, read metadata from files. You can see as it's going through, it's applying the changes as the images are getting darker. Okay, now that the metadata has been updated, I'll navigate to the folder where the images are. If you don't do this step, it'll come up with an error message when you try to export them. Just Control A again, they're still all selected. File, export. I'm gonna go ahead and just use a 4K, that'll be enough for this, and JPEG format. This is a good time to take a break from the computer. This is quite a CPU intensive task and could take a little while. It's 14:20 now. I'll fast forward the video and we'll check how long it took. Okay, that took about 45 minutes and the files are finished exporting. Pull them up in our time lapse. I'll just go ahead and export it as a MP4 4K, very high quality. I'll add a motion blur of 2 onto it, and I won't force the output to 16:9. Hit render. Okay, I'm in DaVinci Resolve now. I'll just pull that file into the media pool. Right click, generate proxy media. This will just help with the editing. You can see here the resolution is pretty high. Now the proxy media is ready, we'll go to the edit page. Watch the file. So far it looks pretty good. Oh, bit of a wobble there. Oh, another one there, not quite sure what happened. We'll have to get rid of those though. Just going to cut them out, that's the easiest way. I think that was the second one. Just use the O key on the keyboard to set the out point. Now I can drag it onto the timeline. Now I'll use the transform function just to adjust the zoom and crop. Start off by setting a keyframe at the start, adjusting the zoom so it fills the screen. Looks pretty good. Just drag it to the end of the clip. Set another keyframe. That looks okay. Let's watch it through. Oops, a little bit of wobble at the end, but otherwise I'm happy with the keyframing. I'll just chop it down to here. Go to the color tab. Not going to do anything too major here, just want to darken up the background a bit, maybe make the flower pop a bit more. Use Alt S to create a few more tabs, a few more nodes rather. Okay, it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough. I'll just go watch the highlights there, bring it back down a little bit. Have a look if I need to do any noise reduction. Not that you'll notice it on YouTube at all. It looks okay. A little bit of a flicker. Might just add a bit of the deflicker on here. Just drag that across. Oops. Undo that. Let's try again. Alt S for another node, and maybe a little bit of sharpening. Don't want to go overboard, but that should do it, I think. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's go to the render page. Already got the name in here. HD 30 frames a second, MP4 H.264. Happy with that. And I'll go ahead and render it. As you might remember, back in LR Timelapse here, I had another 3 folders with images from this series. This was the first set of images, another 2000 images here, plus another 1200 or so. I'll just go through and edit them exactly the same way as I did this set, and in the end I'll just compile them together in DaVinci Resolve.